Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Lenova and today I'm going to show you how to make your own butterfly garden. I spent a lot of time in Palia plushie hunting and I was starting to get a collection of butterflies and ladybug and bumblebee plushes and I just wanted a cute way to display them. Plus I've been collecting all of these flowers. So I thought this was a cute way to display everything. It's not too hard to put together. It is going to require some glitching, so I'll show you some of the glitching techniques that I'm using as well. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, as you can see, I went ahead and created my path. This is made of sandstone pavers. I just wanted to get an idea of where I wanted to put this. And then I had to decide on what kind of flooring I wanted. You could just leave it as grass if you didn't want to do this part, but I wanted my floor to have more of a muddy, dirty kind of look. So I have used these mossy rugs and then I tinted them in the shade, what is this? Paddock tint. You are going to need a total of 12 of these mossy rugs. I went ahead and put down the first row. The rugs themselves will not merge into each other. So if you just lay them flat, you have to leave a space between them. So we're going to trick the game a little bit by putting them on these wood floors. And when you put them on the wood floors, the floor pieces themselves will snap together. So I'm just going to put each one on. Now, if you are new to Palia decorating, it might be easier for you to show a little bit of the wood like this. It'll make it a little easier to grab because you want to move this by the wood floor. But another trick, if you don't have any wood showing and you need to get something that's underneath of it, is to just keep tilting your camera down until that shows. So either way, you can leave a little bit of the wood showing or you can completely cover it. So I'm going to put my rugs on these wood floors. Okay, and then I'm going to grab them, and when you move it over to the carpet, you'll see that it's going to snap in, just like that. Okay, I'll go ahead and finish these, fast forward a little bit, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, my floor is finished. And on the floor, I am going to be using one of these garden gazebos. So I'm just going to try to center it here with the path that I created. I'm not worrying about the floor that's showing on the outside because most of that's going to get covered. I think that looks good right there. Yep, that looks pretty good. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put our butterflies in here, and I wanted the butterflies to look like they were flying around, so I put them at different heights, and I will show you how to make them float. All right, so you're going to need these wood walls. You're going to need an industrial shelf. You're also going to need some of these wood slab pavers. I like to use the very small ones, the smallest one, because they're a lot easier to hide with flowers. I don't want mine showing, but if you don't mind them showing, if you want it to be part of your landscape, you can use any of the pavers. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be the wood ones. So let's start with a butterfly. And I want him to be pretty high up, so we're going to put him about, let's do that. I've also made myself a little ladder of these treasure chests. I like using the treasure chests because you can just run up them like a ladder. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of the wood pavers and I'm going to put it on this bottom shelf. I want my shelves to be even. Like that. Now, according to the game, that's where that paver should be. I'm going to trick the game a little bit by doing something we call cancel glitching. So for cancel glitching, you want to have something on your hotbar that is placeable. So let me pick up this ladybug. And you'll see that the ladybug is on my #1 spot. And as far as I know, this is only available on PC. I think Switch players do have an alternate way of doing it. There's a lot of YouTube videos out there on it. I just don't use Switch, so I don't know how to do it on Switch. I'm going to pick up my paver. I'm laying it here, but I'm not placing it. It's just sitting here like this. And then I'm going to hit that #1 on my keyboard. And then I'm going to hit cancel. The game thinks that I put the ladybug there. The game thinks the paver is still at the bottom and that the ladybug is up here. And now I'm going to pick up my butterfly. And I'm putting my butterfly here. And then I'm picking up the wood paver with the butterfly on it. And when I place it, the game is going to put the paver back where it thinks it should be, which was on the ground. And that makes the butterfly float. Now he is connected to this paver. I can't get rid of the paver. He's connected to it. He's anchored to it. So I'm going to put him in here. Now I don't want all of these pavers to show inside of my gazebo. So even though I just put all of these down, I'm also going to cancel glitch these. When you want to put something in a spot that's already occupied by something else, one way to do it is to pick up that item, move it somewhere, cancel glitch. So I hit #1 on my keyboard, cancel. And then I'm going to do that with all of these because I'm going to be putting my butterflies all throughout. So let me fast forward through this and I'll be right back. Okay, I know that you're probably wondering why I just did that insane thing. I had put my complete floor down and now I've destroyed it, but trust the process. I had to have my flooring first because the gazebo has to go on the floor. and I needed to know where my placement was for my plushies. So I had to do the floor first. I've done what I call cancel glitching. All of this is going to go right back to where it belongs in just a minute. But first we're going to go ahead and place our plushies. So I like to do mine at different heights and put them in different spots. So we'll do a couple of the really tall ones. I'll show you again how I did it. Go ahead and pick these up. All right, so remember that you have to have something on your hotbar. Number one, that's my ladybug. That's what I'm using to do the cancel glitch. So I'm always pressing number one on my keyboard. Starting with my paver here, the distance between this paver and the top shelf is how far I want my butterfly to float. So I place this here, and now I'm going to pick it up. I am hovering over the shelf. I'm not placing it. I still have a hold of it. I'm going to hit number one on my keyboard. That makes the game think I am placing my ladybug, but I'm hitting cancel. Then I'm going to place a butterfly on the paver. And I'm picking up the butterfly by picking up the paver. I want the paver picked up. And when I place it down, he's going to float up. And then I can rotate him in any direction that I want. Let's put him over here. Now I can change the height by changing the shelving. So now I'm going to move this shelf down about halfway. And we'll do a couple at this height. Put your paver on the shelf. And then pick it up. Hover, don't place it. Hit number one on your keyboard. Cancel. And then we're going to place a butterfly on the paver. Nope. I'm going to pick up the paver if I can grab it. There we go. And now he's going to be at a different height. He's a little bit shorter than the other ones. And that is how you float objects. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these fast forward, and we'll be back for the next step. Okay, I think I'm happy with the placement of my butterflies so far. So now I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix my mess of a floor. I have all of these canceled glitched, but the game still thinks they're in here. The game doesn't know that they're outside of the gazebo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch plots. And when I come back to that plot, the game's going to reset itself and all of those floor pieces are going to be right back in the gazebo. just like that. And all of my pavers are hidden, so it just looks like the butterflies are floating. All right, the next thing that I want is I have made these butterflies that I want to put around it. These butterflies are made of a wood pillar and then two of the little leaf small valences, and then I just tinted them in different colors. I used capital chic lamps, table lamps for the antennas. And I have these at different heights. Some of these are tilted. So let me show you how to make one. I'm going to come over here to this wall piece because for some reason these curtains will not go on a pillar. They won't work. So again, we have to trick the game by putting the pillar on this wall piece because the curtain will go on the wall. And then I'm going to take my curtain. Okay, we're going to rotate it like this, and we're going to move it out just a little bit. Like that. We're going to take our other one and rotate it the other way. Make sure that they're lined up as best you can. Then when we pick up the pillar, the curtains will stay on there. Okay, and now I'm going to put the capital chic light. Go ahead and turn it on first. I'm going to put it right up here. There. Then you have a butterfly. And I'm just going to put him here for now. In order to get the different heights, you do the same thing with your shelf trick. So that's how I made them float. If I want one to tilt, like this one, then I'm going to tilt the shelf. So I'll show you one that's tilted. Let's do this one. Okay, I wanted this one pretty high up, so I'm going to move my shelf up here. All right, I'm going to put the paver on the shelf, but this time I'm going to tilt the shelf before I remove the paver, because then that's going to tilt whatever object I'm putting on it. And let's do it this way. I'm doing it 2 times. See how that looks. All right, now I'm going to put the paver up here. Cancel glitch by hitting 1 on my keyboard. Cancel. And now I'm going to put this on the paver. Like that. Pick up the paver. And then you'll see that it floats and it's now tilted. So the 2 high ones I wanted to put in the trees. I haven't put the trees in yet. So this one we wanted to be a little bit lower. I want it to look like the butterfly is in the tree. I might need the tree moved back some. Sort of like that. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is I want to hide all of these edging pieces around here. I want this to make it look like it's only the floor inside. So I have all of these yard work pieces over here. We're going to start by putting a log here. Okay, that'll work. And then I'll move my trees back here. And then I also wanted to put some of these rocks around it. So if you find that you are not able to get a rock in a position that you want, you can always cancel glitch the carpet out again. This rock sits on the carpet pretty well. I think I want it in here. I want to cover up this gap between the log and the gazebo. Okay, that gets pretty close. So we'll put that in there. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these rocks all around, and then we will come back for another step. I'll be right back. I have my butterflies where I want them. I've placed some of these landscaping pieces around it. I'm pretty happy with that. And now I'm just going to start filling this all in with flowers. And the first thing I want to do is make sure a lot of these little pavers that are hanging around here are hidden. I still want to put some ladybugs on the rocks. Just do a little bit of decorating. I'm going to start with some of my bigger pieces to fill in the biggest gaps. did fill in a lot. So now we're gonna take some of these ladybugs and decorate with them. And the bumblebees. So I thought it would be cute to have a ladybug sitting on top of this lamp. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pillar as like an unofficial ruler just to give me an idea of how high I want it to be. So I think I want it to be I'll try it and see if that works. And the thing with the paver, you don't have to have a shelf at the bottom. I use a shelf because a lot of times I'm doing the rotating and tilting, but you can just put it on the ground like that. Okay, we're going to cancel glitch. Let's put ladybug on there. Okay, that works. Looks like he's sitting on there. I also want to put a ladybug on this rock, which isn't very high. So I'm going to use my pillar again just to gauge the height. He's too tall. He's up too high for that rock. Okay, I think that's the right height, but I want him on the rock. I can't merge it any closer, so I'm going to get an idea of where I want him. And then we are going to cancel glitch this rock out of the way. I wanted him about here. All right, let's switch plots and see if it worked. Hmm. He's sort of floating, but I think if we stick a flower in here, that'll sort of camouflage it a little bit. So I'm going to do the same thing with my bees and my ladybugs. I'm going to do some floating and I'm going to put some of them on flowers, place them all around so it looks like there's some life to my garden. And then all we'll have left to do is fill in the flowers. So I'm going to go ahead and speed run this and finish it up, and then I'll be back to show you the final project. Okay, there is just one more thing that I want to add. If you have finished the bulletin board, the Scouting for Shimmerflies bulletin board, the final prize is this shimmerfly garden. So I'm going to throw in some of these just to add a little more life to my garden. All right, and here is the finished product. Oh, these shimmerflies are so cute. So you can add as many or as little flowers as you want. You could switch out the bugs. You can add in different plushies. But now you have all of the basics to creating one, knowing how to float the objects and cancel glitch. And now you can make your own. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something, and I can't wait to see what you create.